Attention, all parents, young and old. If you're not prepared for the cost of aging, listen up because this is an intervention. Everything is expensive now. I mean, we're experiencing inflation. Everyone is talking about how expensive gas is and how expensive groceries are. But no one is talking about how much senior living is. For example, if you have a parent that needs to go into senior living for whatever reason, do you know that that's going to cost them on average $5,000 per month? No, insurance does not cover that. Oh, I'll never put my mom in a home. Okay, well, if you want a caregiver, do you know how much that's going to cost? $500 a day. A day. That's a car note. So you're complaining about the gas prices, but a car note for one day is a caregiver that's going to take care of your mom or your dad. What prompted this video is some of the referrals that I received today. They're very, very, very common, extremely typical, but a lot of people feel like, oh, that'll never be me. So let me read you some of them. First one, $2,000. She's living with her daughter. She is on dialysis and needs transportation. This one has less than $1,000. A veteran had a stroke and left side weakness. This one, cancer, has a feeding tube, a catheter, and less than $3,000. Living with the son. So let's get into it, shall we? Number one. Now, aging adults. Have you asked your kids if they want to take care of you? And what I mean by that is being a caregiver is very taxing, to say the least. It's stressful. They have their own life. Your middle-aged adult child has a spouse, has a career, has the life that you've already lived, right? So have you asked your adult child, hey, when I get that age, will you wipe me front to back? Will you pay $3,000 on my senior living tab? You've done everything right. You've done exactly what they taught you. Prepare for retirement. But the problem is that they forgot to tell you the part about aging. They forgot that chapter, right? Aging is expensive and it hurts. And let me give you a typical scenario. And this will be common across the board. This will be something that is the most common that I will say that I see. Let's take an aging adult. This aging adult has a spouse. They're retired. Everything is fine. Spouse passes away. Things happen. And they're by themselves, but they're okay because this is their house. Like they're fine. And you call. How you doing, Mom? Oh, I'm doing good, baby. You know, did you eat? Yeah, I'm doing good. I took my medicines. Okay. You might even go to swing by. And as you swing by, you notice things are piling up and things are more so in piles here and there and clutter over there. And they're going to get to it, right? You know, but you just happen to notice these things. But are you eating? You taking your medications? All right, cool. You got your doctor's appointment? All right. Everything is fine. Until one day, you don't hear from Mom for a day, and that's no big deal because she had a doctor's appointment. But you don't hear from her again the second day. So you pop up and you swing by and you realize that she's been on the floor for 2 days. The cold floor, in pain, with a fractured hip. You are devastated. You're overwhelmed. You're panicking. You're freaking out. How does this happen? What happened? What did I do wrong? Right? And you're blaming yourself, and now you're trying to get into protector mode. Okay, this is my mom. What can I do? You know what? You're going to come and move in with me. Come on, you're moving in with me. You can no longer stay in your house, right? All right, cool. Mom now moves with you. But you're not prepared because you have a 2-story, and all the bedrooms are upstairs. She has a fractured hip. She can't go up the stairs. So then there's that. So after a while, oh, I forgot to tell you. After this fractured hip, she has to go to rehab. And you know how much Medicare is going to cover? Not that much. This is a 90-something-year-old lady with a fractured hip. And Medicare is going to cover like 3 weeks, 6 weeks tops, depending on the insurance that you have. So, no, if you do have long-term care insurance, you are winning. Just make sure that you look inside your policy to see what is covered. Side note, what is very, 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 very important to have in your long-term care policy is rehab. Because it's one thing to have home health that they just come inside your home and help you with therapy, and that's not really going to help you that much. That's like sprinkles on top. But if something happens bad to you, like a stroke or a fracture or anything like that, you want to do as much aggressive rehab as possible up front in order to make the best recovery. Like my grandmother, she had a stroke, and she doesn't mind telling you this because she literally tells it to the world for the last 8 years. That she's 83 and she had a stroke, okay? And you're gonna know that she knows how to walk, and she only walks with one cane, and that's only if she wants to use it, but I digress. Love you. But if you have the long-term care policy, home health is important, but if you have caregivers, that is even more important, like your policy to cover the caregivers and rehab. That is extremely important because those are the things that you're going to need the most. Not necessarily home health because your insurance will typically cover that, but definitely the caregivers and the rehab, okay? So now she's living with you. Everything is fine, but now you have this caregiver burden. You're stressed because now you're also noticing that mom, she's not as sharp as she used to be. I mean, her recipes are not the same. She's doing odd things. She seems a little bit confused. And one day you start to Google dementia and Alzheimer's. You want to figure out what is happening with her. You're asking her questions and she's forgetful. Now you realize that she does have dementia in some capacity. What are you going to do now? You're burdened as a caregiver. If you need someone to guide you through the senior living process, feel free to reach out to me. Here's my email right there. info@apfsle.com.